We've got a bit of a long one, so I put timestamps in the description. Hey, it's Kristin Janae. Today I'm going to be reviewing JapanesePod101.com as a whole, as well as their Absolute Beginner Season 1 series on their website. Obviously, I am not sponsored. Get that out of the way right now. Those of you who have seen my Myrtle Beach blog know that I have been trying to learn Japanese, and I plan on taking the Japanese language proficiency test level N5 in December of this year. And so I am trying to learn Japanese on my own. A little backstory, just so you can see where I'm coming from and what my about level was when I started using this product, to kind of compare along your journey if you're considering either using this platform or if you're already using Japanese Pod 101, doing this series. Back in high school, about 10 or 11 years ago, I took 2 years of Japanese, and that was my first attempt on really learning Japanese. Before that, I had one book that I gave to my brother when he was going to move to Japan, and he left it there, probably threw it away, never gave it back. It's whatever. It was real old. He said it was boring. But besides that, my first instance with trying to learn Japanese was I took 2 years in high school. It was really easy, came really natural, but anybody who has taken a language in high school knows that, especially if you only took 2 years of that language, knows that none of that is sticking. I will say it gave me a good base to pick stuff back up, like learning the 2 of the 3 alphabets, the hiragana and katakana. Since I did learn that in those first 2 years, picking them back up has always been relatively easy since I kind of have a foundation there. However, in high school Japanese in the first 2 years, we didn't touch any kanji, like whatsoever. For those of you who don't know, kanji is the Chinese characters that are brought into Japanese. They, instead of making sounds like a, I, U, E, O, they have whole meanings in their way they're written. They mean whole words a lot of the times, or parts of whole words, and make more than one sound. So anyway, that was then. After that, I have tried, within the 10 plus years that have passed, I have picked up it again on and off, trying to, but never really stuck with it. I did a little bit of Rosetta Stone. Don't waste your money. I can do a review on Rosetta Stone, but the deeper that I get into learning Japanese, the more I'm gonna have to sway against it. I have it. I still have it on my computer. But I would say don't bother. I know it doesn't cost as much as it used to. You'll read about it a lot on forums now, and they make it sound like it's $300 or $500 or $1,000. It's not. You can get Rosetta Stone for $150. Should you? Probably not, because some stuff you'll be very confused with, like why it's using that form of the verb, and you won't even know. I remember when my older brother coming home from Japan, and I remember asking him, why do you use tabemasu, which is like a polite form to eat sometimes, but sometimes you hear taberu or anything like that, and you have really kind of no idea, which is the case, don't get me wrong, with some programs that I do like more, but the pros of Rosetta Stone don't really outweigh the cons of that. And I know some people don't like it because Rosetta Stone gets a lot of crap that sometimes it doesn't deserve, like the cost is not as high as it's being toted around online. Also, the use of romaji, which is when you write down beneath phonetically using the English alphabet what the word in Japanese would use. And a lot of people say that you should not, and I kind of agree with this after studying a while, you should not, if you can help it from the beginning, use romaji at all. It really kind of slows you down. But to Rosetta Stone's credit, you can turn that off, which is the thing that people don't talk about. But even still, I can't in good faith suggest it. So I guess that's my little mini Rosetta Stone review at the beginning of this lesson. Really don't do it. Not that you can't do it, there's just cheaper ways, even at $150, there's cheaper ways to get the same amount of information, I feel. A different program, which I have used a little bit in the past, and I am going to get back into, and maybe I'll do a full review on this, is Pimsleur. I did a lot of Pimsleur. I went through all of level 1 of Pimsleur for Spanish, and I've done some Japanese, but I'm going to get back into it. Pimsleur, though, does not break down the grammar like Rosetta Stone. The amount of time you spend speaking, though no one's there to correct your speaking, but still the amount of time you spend speaking kind of is a plus for Pimsleur. I would say if it comes down to it, your Rosetta Stone or Pimsleur, for some reason, those are your only two choices, definitely go for Pimsleur. But I also say don't spend any money on Pimsleur. If you have a local library, which most places do, any place that I've lived has had a local library, but that doesn't mean everywhere does. But if you have a local library, the dusty old local library in that part of the town you're never in, just go over there, because 9 times out of 10, you can find Pimsleur, Japanese, or whatever language you're trying to learn there for free. Just take it out. I really like Pimsleur, but I think when I look on their website, it's like $300 a level. It might not be that high, but I feel like the last time I looked, it was something crazy like that. Don't spend that money. You don't have to spend that money on Pimsleur. It's a nice, great resource to get you speaking, but don't spend the money when you don't have to. But I will be doing a Pimsleur review once I get back into it, using it for Japanese, and my thoughts more in depth. Coming soon, probably in a couple weeks. See how just to get into it and really dig my feet into it before I give a review on it. But I definitely would recommend Pimsleur over Rosetta Stone. Rosetta Stone, it's just too many things. There's too many other platforms that you can look at a picture and hear the word for free or for a fraction of the cost, that you don't need Rosetta Stone. Because it's what it is. You're not getting any grammar. You're not really getting any cultural points in Rosetta Stone. You're really just getting flashcards that talk, that have voiceover, I mean. And it's not really worth it at that point. There are things like Anki and Memrise, and even JapanesePod101 has a flashcard system that is just superior, or not that's superior, but that's just as good, if not better, and it doesn't cost anywhere near as Rosetta Stone. And Anki is free, and Memrise is mostly free. I will do a review on Anki. I'm working through an Anki deck. I'll probably review a deck and my thoughts, because Anki and Memrise use space-time repetition. One of those. They use that to help you learn. And really, that's what Rosetta Stone's doing, and it's free. They're both free. There's a base Memrise for free. The premium's like $19. I'll go on Memrise. I'll do a Memrise review next week. But either way, you don't need that. But after that long rant, let's get back into Japanese Pod 101. I like this. Me personally, I am an auditory learner mostly. If you tell me, if I hear it, I'll remember it. It's auditory and then visuals probably second, but more so if I hear you say it, it'll stick out in my head. So I was working through well, really, I just did the first chapter in the textbook and the workbook of Genki, the Genki 1 textbook, which is highly recommended. And I will say that it is very informative, and it's got a lot of good information and a lot of good cultural points, and it teaches grammar really well. But I just needed a break, and I had stopped learning. I had stopped working on my Japanese because I was just sitting in front of a textbook, and it was kind of making me crazy. Like, I was dreading it. So I had stopped doing the Japanese for the most part. I was doing flashcards on Memorize in between, and I just stopped. I would do flashcards every now and again, but not too much. So I know that I needed something different, but I wasn't sure what. And Japanese Pod 101, they have a YouTube channel. The problem with their YouTube channel is that it's so all over the place and the levels are so varying that it's hard for someone relative to beginner to start. And even though I have a lot of on and off Japanese knowledge, I started with absolute beginner because a lot of it is self-taught, and a lot of it and the rest of it was in slow moving high school level Japanese. I didn't want to just skip to like regular beginner because I didn't know if I was missing some grammar points that I didn't know that I was missing. So I start from the beginning. So yeah, I did that, and I say that I had probably vocab wise a couple hundred words in my vocabulary. At least like 200 words. And some basic sentence structure. But that was it when I'm starting this absolute beginner series. For the Japanese Pod 101 website itself, I have a premium account. If you get a premium account, please, Lord, do not pay full price for this premium account. I have to look, because off the top of my head, I don't have my phone in front of me because it's dying, but I don't know how much a year or whatever of this premium account is, but when I saw it, I said, oh my God, no. But I was Googling. I'll put a link. I think I got the coupon from either Retail Me Not or Don't Pay Full Price.com, but I think I was on Retail Me Not. I'll put the code that I used in the description, as well as a link to the coupon codes for Japanese Pod 101, just in case by the time you're seeing this, or if you decide that you want to do this, the coupon code has switched out. But I got like 65% off. I think I paid, and I had a few extra bucks from canceled order on eBay in my PayPal account. So on my debit card, I got charged $47, but I think it was $60 for a year of premium content. I like the line by line dialogue that's underneath, which I think you don't get in a premium account. Hey guys, Editing Kristin here. I just wanted to cut in and show you what Japanese Pod 101 says the differences between each of their accounts are depending on what kind of membership you get. There is also a free membership where I guess after the 7-day free trial, I think you basically get what's on YouTube. I don't know. But also I wanted to make a note when I added these pictures in that those prices are that they say per month, like the premium account says $10 a month. Those prices are if you prepay annually for 2 years. So it's really $10 a month, but we're going to charge you $240 at once. So I just wanted to let you guys know. Back to regular Kristin. I like that I can make flashcard decks by the lesson, as well as go through the core 100, 200, all the way up to the core 2000. Now I am doing a core 2000 deck on Anki, but it's nice to be able to get one specific to the lessons that I'm doing there, as well as just so I can hear it over. I like the lesson notes a lot of time. I like that there's sentences with the vocab. I like their little video reviews, and their vocab test questions on each lesson. I think it's great for their overall site, for the premium site. But like I said, do not, because I think it's crazy how much it actually quote unquote costs. So if you're gonna get a coupon. If you're an auditory listener, an auditory learner, I definitely recommend it. Like if you need to hear, like somebody needs to be talking at least around you, if not to you, for the information to stick, then I like it a lot, and it's a lot more organized than trying to get the same lessons from their iTunes or from their YouTube channel. Now, for the Absolute Beginner Season 1 set, unless you have never, ever tried to learn Japanese in your whole life at all, then skip it. It was 25 lessons, burned through 5 lessons a day. They're only like 10 minutes a piece. Busted it out in 5 days. And to have not really picked up anything Japanese in some time, it was just super easy, like to a T. And they don't go deep into the grammar there. They say that at the beginning, that this is just like, you just want to get talking, you want to get hearing, and in that case, sure. But if you have anything, like you know how to say hello, goodbye, good morning, thank you, and you know X, Y desu. Watashi wa Kristin desu. It wasn't like going for an actual Japanese accent. I was just trying to show you. If you get that structure, I would say skip it, because you don't need it. It's really basic. I think they went over some X, Y desu, or A, Y, B desu, I think they say on there, but it's the same thing. If you know a few verbs, like, even if you don't know, like, ikimasu or iku, or, because they don't even do the dictionary version, so it's not like they're like iku, nomu, yomu, so, or ikimasu, nomimasu, yomimasu, which is to go, to drink, to read. Even if you don't know that, you don't really need to know that to skip that. If you know hello, good morning, X, Y desu, if you got that, skip it. You don't need it. Or if it's been years and years, or just if it's been a long time since you've tried to learn Japanese, then maybe, because it was a nice refresher to get me used to listening to Japanese again. Like, not to say that I don't watch dramas or anime or anything like that, because I do, but a lot of times you're reading subtitles. Like, the only time it gets in is if you know how to say what they're saying. Then sometimes that gets in, but you're still reading subtitles. So this gets you listening to Japanese in a very non-aggressive, like overwhelming or anything like that form. It's just simple Japanese, and they're gonna say it, and then they're gonna say it slow, and then they're gonna say it with English, and the sentences are gonna be very short, and they really dwell on them. You don't need it. I would say go straight to what I'm doing now, is the Nihongo Dojo Absolute Beginner series. Or it's also listed, the same courses are listed under the Newbie Season 2. Don't do Newbie Season 1, just skip it, it's useless. Newbie Season 2 courses. So when I finish that, I'll come back and do a review on that, obviously. But as someone who has a base in Japanese, a tiny one, I'm not claiming to have a big base in Japanese by any means, but if you have a little, like you know a little, I would jump right into there, because the first 2 lessons I felt kind of like eased into, but then the 3rd lesson, it's like, okay, I'm learning stuff. And you'll get vocab. I will say that I won't say I didn't learn anything from the Absolute Beginner series. There were words like vocab that I did not know, that had not come up in, like, so far in Anki or in Memrise or in Genki so far. Because even though I have a Genki deck, I have 2 Genki decks and a JLPT 5 deck on Memrise that I go through. And I do like 10. I don't master 10 words, but I'll do one 10-word learning session on each one every day, or I'll do 10 review words every day. Oh, my camera cut off. Oh, but it was nice to get some different vocabulary because you follow this man whose wife's brother and sister-in-law are coming from Japan to visit him, blah, 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 blah. It's cutesy. You get some different words. It's nice for vocabulary, but that vocab's not going to kill you. I would skip ahead to, like I said, Newbie Season 2 / Nihongo Dojo, Absolute Beginner Japanese. So that's what I say. Too long, you skimmed through the video, you didn't get it. Don't buy Rosetta Stone. If you get Pimsleur, get it from the library. It's free. Memorize, Anki, great flashcards. JapanesePod101. The website's great if you're an auditory learner or you need to work on your listening skills. I highly recommend it. Absolute Beginner Season 1, skip it. Jump right into Newbie Season 2 / Nihongo Dojo Absolute Beginner. Alright guys, if you like this video, give it a like. I love to do more of these. I'm learning Japanese anyway, so if you'd like to go on this journey with me, let me know in the comments below if you've tried to learn Japanese, if you want to learn Japanese, or what your reasons are for not trying to. Let me know. Hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every week. Try to do multiple videos every week, but I definitely always do one. Until the next video, bye-bye.